What is up, guys? It's me, John Avenger, once again, and welcome to another Movies from the 2000s review. Well, this is going to be a sort of rant because I'm not going to destroy anything on camera because I don't have this movie, but I saw this a long time ago, back in 2010, and it is a 2009 sci-fi action extravaganza done by the highly talented, but a director that's kind of lost his way in recent years, James Cameron's Avatar. Yep, I'm finally gonna take a whack at this movie. It's from 2009, so it counts. And this movie, wow, one of the most overrated films I've ever seen in my life. Is it horrible? No, but I'll list the good things of this movie first. First, the visuals are stunning. I will say this right now. The visuals that they did for the movie look amazing. The CGI is like, it's mind blowing what James Cameron, the budget they spend on this movie. The money was definitely well spent on the visuals. The guys that won the Oscars for the technical stuff, the visual effects and the green screen and the creature designs and everything, all of that is well done, and I'm not gonna bitch about that because there's nothing to bitch about. It was Cameron's vision, so I can't blame him for that. Second, there's some entertaining scenes here and there. Like when there's action, some of it looks good, and it's not the worst movie ever. It's not like a 3 hour drama, but that's as much as I can say about the thing. Is the acting horrible? No, but it's not. It's very marginal for me, very average. It's not like the best of the worst. Also, I think the actors that are there, like some of them, like Sigourney Weaver tries, she's all right in the film, and some of the other actors, but there's a lot of problems with this movie, and I don't know why this is the highest grossing movie of all time worldwide. Overall, yes, The Force Awakens beat it domestically, but not worldwide. It's still the highest grossing movie in the world. That's never going to be topped by any Star Wars movie. But anyway, the bad. This movie is way too long. I'm sorry. No matter what cut of this film you get, if you see the theatrical cut that I saw back in 2010 that was on DVD, it's just padded out. My fucking God, this movie is so boring and long. It's like it's 2 hours and 45 minutes. Cameron, you could have done this movie with about half that running time. If you wanted to do another story, like you said, you're gonna do like two or three more Avatar sequels, which I don't think are needed, because after this made $2 billion, we don't need another movie. But it's gonna happen soon because Cameron wants to beat the next Star Wars films, and he will. But good God, this movie is way too long. It feels long. It just, it's just a chore to sit through how long it is. Like the first hour of the movie is completely boring. You have Sam Worthington, who's one of the most lifeless leads I've ever seen in my life. The guy is not a good actor. There's a reason you don't see him headlining any more films until Avatar 2 comes out. He's just a boring actor to look at. I'm sorry. Terminator Salvation, he was there. I don't think he was horrible, but he was there. I think Jai Courtney's worse than him, but he's not that great of an actor. I didn't bother with Clash of the Titans or Wrath of the Titans because he just does nothing for me. He's an Aussie guy pretending I'm Jake Sully and I want to talk. I can't walk. I need to get my legs back. That's his performance for the entire freaking movie, and it's dull. Zoe Saldana, I do like her in Guardians of the Galaxy. It's the best thing she's done in years. This was nothing. This was a nothing role with this horrible, accent that she does. The CG looks great, but really, Cameron, this movie should have been completely animated. It should have been just all CG. If you were gonna go for broke, just make it all CG. Frozen did that, and it was amazing. But here, it's like half of the, like 90% of the movie CG, and the other 10% is real actors, and it doesn't work because the actors that are alive are boring for the most part. Sam Worthington is a bore. Sigourney Weaver's trying, but she doesn't have much to do. The guy from I forgot the guy's name, the blonde guy that was in Grandma's Boy. He's all right, but he's kind of forgettable. I don't care about Michelle Rodriguez. I never liked that actress. She has a mean looking face. She dies at the end. Whoop de freaking do. Stephen Lang is a horrible villain. He's over the top. He's not likable. He's not he's not even a good villain. He just drags the movie down, and he has to fight at the end with a giant freaking knife. Giovanni Ribisi, it's just a bit of trees. Yeah, I'm sorry. And Unobtainium, really? Really, James Cameron? That's what you call this new mineral? Unobtainium. Yeah, really freaking stupid. This movie did one thing that I didn't get with The Force Awakens, and I will say that one positive. The Force Awakens did not bore the shit out of me for over 2 hours. It had problems, but this is worse. This is just on and on and on and on. Oh, they have to plug their hair into nature to commune with it, and they, do these ceremonies, and they worship the land, and they fly on freaking dragons, and I'm like, the visuals are stunning, but this should have been an animated movie and an hour and 30 minutes or an hour and 40 minutes. You didn't need to make it 2 hours and 45 minutes. It's painfully padded. There are way too many characters in the movie. I didn't even watch the extended cut because it's a 3 hour and 15-minute cut. Yeah, I want to watch 45 more, 30 more minutes of padding. I don't want to see that. I'm sorry. It just doesn't. The story is something we've seen already. It's Pocahontas, it's Ferngully, it's Dances with Wolves, it's freaking Return of the Jedi in a sense because they're in the jungle. It's freaking it's a lot of other things. Even some animes that they do in the jungle. It's just way too much. I'm like, it's just a recycled story that was padded out with Cameron with his head upheld high because he's like, I made the greatest movie of all time. No, this movie is freaking boring, man. I cannot stand how long this movie is. And the Navis, the blue creatures, they're forgettable. They're good. They're nice to look at, and they're blue, which is my favorite color. But they speak this language, which they have half of the movie is subtitled, which I'm not a fan of. I told you that I'm not a fan of reading subtitles in an American movie, and it's just dull. It's like I've seen this before, and I've seen shorter films done like this. Like I said, Ferngully, it's not 2.5 hours or 2 hours and 45 minutes. It's just too long. I get bored easily, and when a not movie this over budget this with a movie with this kind of a budget, it should have entertained me from beginning to end. But I was just so bored. As soon as Jake became a Navi, I was like, yeah, I don't give a shit. I like the visuals. It's eye candy, but that's all it is. That's all these people bought into in the hype. The 3D, I didn't care for the 3D. It didn't save the movie. It's the film itself. As a film, to me, it's a failure. It's not the worst movie ever made. Not even close. It's just, I was bored, Cameron. If you can make the sequels more entertaining and less, padded out, maybe I will like the sequels. But this one just, I saw it on DVD on a HD TV, and I just could not take it. It was like, this is boring. I know I keep saying that, but yeah. If you have not seen Avatar, one watch won't kill you, but it is a long movie, and I've seen long movies in the theater. I saw Interstellar. I saw the Hobbit trilogy. I saw the extended cuts of Lord of the Rings. Return of the King is a very long movie, but it has a solid, compelling story to keep it together. This doesn't. It has a bunch of cat creatures, trying to protect their land from intruders, and I've seen that all before. And it's laughable. Like there's a scene where Zoe Saldana's, I think it's her father or something. He dies. He's dying, and she's like, and I'm like, what the fuck? And I'm like, James Cameron must have been on some serious freaking LSD or something when he came up with this, because he wrote this, he directed it, so he's responsible. But he's not a bad director. I love Terminator 1 and 2. I like The Abyss. I love Aliens is an awesome movie. Aliens, this movie wishes it was Aliens, because Aliens wasn't 2 hours and 45 minutes. No. It should not be that padded out. I'm sorry. If I'm bored to death, the movie's going to feel like a chore to get through. It's like a freaking snail's pace. The pacing is awful in this movie. It's a pacing that as soon as it starts, like, okay, let's see what they're doing. They're trying to experiment and trying to put these people into these avatars to go into this land. And, it's good looking. The creatures are interesting to say the least, but I'm like, there's not enough action. There's too much talking, and I hate that. Sci-fi movies should not be talky, 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 talky. They have to have good dialogue and draw me in, like those movies did. Avengers 2 and freaking Civil War, and even the first Avengers. Those movies did not bore me to tears. They were over 2 hours long, but since I was so entertained, it could have gone for 3 hours and I would have been sitting in the theater entertained. But this movie just does nothing for me. It's nothing personal. It's just, I thought the film could have been a lot better. It could have been a lot shorter. You could have cut out Michelle Rodriguez. She doesn't do anything in the film. She just gets killed. Whoop de freaking do. And, you know, I know that this looks fake because it's not a real world. Pandora, they've been trying to copy this ever since the movie came out. And the fact that it made the most money in the world is just insulting because I'm like, this is a story I've seen before with films done a lot better and they didn't bore me as much. And this just was overblown and overhyped and saying this is the second coming. I'm like, no, it's not. It's just a generic sci-fi movie that's boring. It's just a really boring movie. I don't know why I was so bored, but it's just the visuals and alone are not enough to carry the film for me. I'm just if that was the case, Man of Steel would have been one of my favorite movies, and it's not because it bored me to tears too. And that's what Krypton looked like in Man of Steel. It looked like a freaking a Pandora wannabe, and that was shorter. But here, it's like you got to see all of Pandora. You got to see the freaking trees and the flowers and the waterfalls and the floating mountains. I'm like, what the fuck, James Cameron? I really don't like this movie. I'm sorry. I will never watch this movie again. If I see the extended cut, I better be really freaking high on sugar or something because I cannot make it through it and drink a shitload of coffee because I cannot stay awake long enough to sit through this again. It's just a dull movie. It bores me to tears. It's not the worst ever, not even in my top 100 worst movies, but just one of the most overrated films after The Dark Knight. Because at least Dark Knight was long, but it wasn't 3 hours. I felt it just feels way too long. And when a movie's too long and it's too boring, I have no interest. And as a sci-fi fan, I'm insulted because I'm like, there are movies that are so much better. But anyway, that's my pseudo rant on Avatar. It's just boring, dull, and it's not a movie for me. It was for a lot of people, but not for me. I didn't see this in the theater, and I don't want to if it gets re-released. The sequels better be better, James Cameron, because if the second one is as long and boring as this one, I'm in trouble. And Zoe Saldana's done better. Guardians wasn't even 2 hours, and it was freaking great. This is overhyped. But anyway, thanks for liking, subscribing, commenting. You guys are awesome. Thanks for watching my videos. You guys, you've made this year very bearable for me because it's been very rough. A lot of problems and bad weather and just injuries, but I'm still here and I'm still fighting and I'm here to stay. I'm not going anywhere. You guys are worth you guys are all worth it doing this channel, giving back to my fan base because you're the best. You guys, my subscribers and my viewers are the best, and my friends Tevia, Sean, and Parker. You guys motivate me to keep going, and I'm going to. So see you in the next one, and the next one won't be a rant, but Avatar is just not for me. Sorry. Later.